And sisters, it is author and speaker Tori Lynn, and I am right here with author Tiana, the author of Bending But Not Breaking. We are, right now, we were just having a discussion, as sisters do. We were discussing about things that she's gone through in her life. And we're trying to figure out what we could do to help other kids that are experiencing heartache, and stuff, like how to get out. Well, Tiana was adopted early on, and when she was adopted, her adoptive mother was beating her, literally beating her with 2x4s, the bed slabs,
like
the bed slabs at the bottom, extension cords,
leather belts, with her hands, whatever was in the reach.
So what she was saying is that one day she was at school, and people saw, this is one thing that I don't get, that her mother worked at the school. She went up to she got in trouble, and the adoptive mother took a paddle and beat her with it, and she said she was screaming. Go ahead, Sel.
Mainly screaming for help, because of you getting hit with a board as a child. That's damaging. You could call, kind of went in and out. And so,
tell them where your bruises were.
I had a knot in my head. My lips was busted. I had dents in my shins. I still have marks on my legs from the extension cords. And I'm 39 years old now. And so, me and Tori was talking, and my message that I want to get out is that when you see a child that's in harm's way like that, they're being abused like that, help that child get out. Be open to listen to that child. If you a mentor and you know what's going on, it's one thing to be like, oh, this child is going through so much right now, and I feel sorry for them. They don't need you to feel sorry for them. They need
help.
you to get them out of there.
Active.
We got to start being active with these children and stop putting them back in situations that's damaging them and hurting them, which is causing them to commit suicide. We sit back and like, oh, well, we don't know why they committed suicide. Well, have anybody took the time shooting up schools? Well, have anybody took the time to try to figure out what's going on in that child's mind? What's going on that's hurting them on the inside? What's going on in the household? Everybody it's not for everybody to know your business, but as a child, I'm sure there's a lot of young people out there. Oh, thank you.
Don't get distracted.
I know. There's a lot of kids that need help in these schools, that go to school every day, that's battling with something that happened the night before, the day before. You don't know if that child even got some sleep the night before. So it's not all about the child being bad or dysfunctional or disobedient. Right. See what's going on in that child's life. Yeah, you label each other. Oh, they just bad. They don't have no respect. Find out why they don't have no respect. Because
that's a telltale sign right there, is when they start acting out.
Right. Find out what's going on. Sometimes those kids can be like, I'm just disobedient because I'm living in a crazy world, or there's something going on at home and nobody's listening to me. That could be their cry out for help. My glasses is glaring.
Look for signs, because that's the thing that I was saying to her, is when that day happened where you got in trouble that day, and she took you in her office and she beat you with that paddle, and you came out the office with bruises on your lip busted, you got a knot on your head, your eyes black. We at Ralph Ellison Library, Nitra. What happened then? When everybody saw you beat up and blistered like that, what happened?
Nothing happened. And that's the thing, that we see grown people see these children going through this stuff and not acknowledging it. If you see that child is out there crying for help, you see that child come to school with knots and bruises, it's our job as an adults to say,
what's going on.
What's going on? You have
Because in any situation, if a child is being abused at home, and we see signs, I mean, if you got a child that got knots and bruises
I'm sure
and
when
stuff,
you went to school as an educator, you were taught to notice the signs of an abused child.
not even in school, not even in school, anywhere.
Mentorship. I mean, I'm not even in the but I can tell when there's something going wrong with a child versus a child had just went outside and had a fight with another kid.
Right.
Versus you done came to school. Pay attention to the signs if they either walking around by themselves a lot, with their head down. Pay attention to those kids that walk around with their head down. That means they have low self-esteem about something. They don't have the confidence in themselves about something. Our kids should not have to walk around with their heads held down. They don't want to tell because there's nobody open that they can trust. That trust have been blocked to be able to tell somebody that something is going on. So we have to be open to our kids and be open. I didn't have anybody that I had a go-to person that I could say, I don't want to be there no more. I got to get out. This is not right.
What was your out?
My out was to run away. I had to run away. And I ran away. I got put in a mental hospital. It wasn't nothing mentally wrong with me.
He's trying to get out.
But I had rather been in that mental hospital than to be in a house, a roof. That mental hospital, that mental hospital was my get out. I would rather go back to the mental hospital. And it's sad because I didn't have nobody. So we as an adults, and if you're in a mentorship program, if you're mentoring children and you are have any type of connections with kids,
look for the signs. It's
be
too many of us.
Be open to listen. Listen to if the child say, ask them how they doing. Don't just constantly sit back and be like, oh, they all right. And another thing that I experienced is, here's my number. Call me if you need me.
If you need me.
No. We got to stop that. We have to start reaching out to these kids. We have to give me your number and I'm about to call you. I'm going to call you twice a week if I got to stop by and see about you. We give these kids our numbers. These kids ain't thinking about calling us when things going bad. That's the last thing.
They don't have any trust.
Exactly. We have to earn their trust because they trust have been thrown. Trusting people, grown people, have been thrown out the window. And we come in and say, well, here's my number. Just call me.
That's cliche. And it's hurtful because you see the signs. I mean, there's signs. There's clues all the time.
There's
when
clues.
Children are being abused. Now, I won't say all the time, but majority of the time, there's clues, especially those of us who's been molested, especially those of us who's been physically abused. So if a child don't feel like they have any way out or there's nobody to rescue them, then the only thing they have is to run away or commit suicide. Or blow up some doggone schools or take some schools and stuff. I've been crying out. I've been saying something.
I've been saying something. Nobody.
We have to listen and be active listeners. We have to be active participants. When she came out that classroom and them teachers saw that she was all bruised up, it's like that somebody should have taken action and not cared.
Nobody took action. Nobody. It's all about, well, I could lose this. People, they look at, well, if I say something, I could lose my job. If I say something, how my bills gonna get paid? Well, if you don't say nothing, this child gonna lose their life.
Right.
So it's like,
and you were in a position to be able to do something. You were in a position that I could have helped that child. How you sleep at night knowing that you saw or that there's a child that's being sexually or physically abused, and you go to sleep at night and you're like, oh well, somebody will call on them or somebody will say something, somebody will handle it. You passing the buck. But then this time I got to figure out tonight, how am I gonna sleep? Is this the night I'm gonna get beat? I'm gonna hit.
Or if this the night somebody's gonna come in my room and where I can't get no sleep because they want to do whatever
they gonna molest me. They gonna rape me.